Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to this recording video. My name is Cedric Davis. For those of you who I haven't met yet, I'm a retired Navy, and I'm also an independent wealth generator, teacher, and mentor. And I wanted to take the time to make this recording to pass along some valuable information to everyone. So whether you're on my team in sales or looking to promote business or an idea, the concepts I'm going to go over should work in all situations. It's mainly for multi-level marketing businesses, but can be used in any type of sales position, in my opinion. I want to help everyone to think about reaching people, making contacts, and achieving their goals in a different and unique way. It will allow you to do less work that's less difficult to get to a greater result if you think about contacting or prospecting in this different way. So if you're in a MLM, sales, or marketing, the basic premise is to contact and acquire customers or business partners. So you're going to want to take notes. As they say, note takers are money makers. Now, if you want to have a great foundational business or customer base, you're going to want one that's right and stable. So if I could show you how to lay that solid foundation, would that interest you? I thought so. So I'm going to be speaking mainly to my MLMers, considering that this pertains to the business structure. So say you met someone or got someone started in the business that doesn't have or seem to have a lot of skills, but wants to build business with you and is willing to listen to what you have to say and do what you and your leaders suggest. And they're willing to give you 2 or 3 nights a week. Then, say on a Sunday, come to you, sit down with you, and say, all right, Cedric, here's what I did all week. I did this and that. I screwed this up, but gave it a shot. What's next? Please, tell me what I need to do. If they were that open and honest with you and was diligent, could you seriously coach them to the level in your particular business that they are striving for? You could use your particular training systems, personal mentorships, one-on-one tag-alongs, whatever. How long do you think it would take for them to reach their level of or their goal? Would it be safe to say 4 to 6 years? Is that reasonable? Now, I know for some, it could definitely happen much sooner in your particular business, but it's definitely helpful to think of this from a coaching position because we've been competitive all our lives growing up, whether it's in school for GPAs, valedictorian, in our sports teams that we played on, or job interviews that we went on. And like for me in the military, it was for rankings, more advancement. So giving you an example, let's look at an NBA star who's competing against his own teammates for high percentage 3-pointers or high percentage rebounds, MVP honors. He's got that eye of the tiger mentality to set and defend records. But however, when he becomes a coach, he then wants everyone on his team to beat his old records. It's like when you become a parent, you stop competing against your siblings and start wanting your kids to outperform and achieve more than you did. Maybe walk earlier than you did, talk earlier than you did. So when you take on the role or mentality of a coach, you have a totally different outlook on your downline. Now, let me ask you, would it take longer to coach 2 than it would for just 1? Aren't you going to take them to the same meetings, events, or functions? In fact, it's pretty cool to talk with 3 or 4 of your top performers over a cup of coffee than at 2 separate times, because one might have strengths that complement the other's weaknesses and vice versa. So they feed off each other's energy. It's awesome. So it wouldn't take any longer to coach 7 to 10. Does it? So if you could coach one in 4 to 6 years, you can coach I'd say 7 to 10 in 4 to 6 years. So my question to you is, were those leaders at the last meeting, event, or function sitting in the front row taking notes? If not, that is what you're missing. The hardest part is getting them together and getting them engaged and plugged in to the system as soon as possible, all at the same time. This can be done just by changing the way we think. A lot of us have been trained or taught that we need to build relationships, go on carpools, out to eat, go to dinner with them, go to church with them. And then 2 years down the line, hey, I've got this business opportunity I want to introduce to you. I had a mentor that told me, why are you doing that? If that person's on your list a year later, you're doing something wrong. If that person's on your list a month later, you ain't doing it right. If that person's on your list a week later, what are you waiting for? Like most of you, I'm sure, I was waiting for the situation to get right. I ask you, like I asked myself, what situation? The fact that you don't want to look foolish, especially if you're new and don't know a lot? Your goal should be to approach the contact or prospect and risk as quickly as you can to look foolish. I say this because if you push it past your comfort zone and theirs, you may push them and find out that that person is a winner and is in business with you forever. I used to back off because I wasn't comfortable being uncomfortable. So I would lie and say that I made contacts by taking a card from the person or their office and leaving it at that. Or I would try to contact them later when I was full of, let's all say it, phone courage, where they couldn't see me shaking or fumbling or the lack of confidence in my persona. I had to stop that, especially when I saw opportunity, like at a gas station late at night or on a weekend when someone else was there filling up like I was and looking like I was for opportunity to present itself. I would strike up a conversation with them and give them a sincere compliment like, great car. How do you like it? They may think I'm too forward or weird and not respond. But if they do, I would ask, so do you work or stay around here? If the person rejects you, then next. Because are you really going to care when you've reached your personal level of success in the business you're in? I would think not. So, if you're not then, why are you worried about it now? How many people live in your particular community or are friends with you on social media? If you made an attempt to contact each of your contacts as quickly as you could and risk being foolish as fast as you could, how quickly do you think it would take you to get 10 people fired up about your product and or service or get in business with you? Risking looking foolish to make a contact isn't newsworthy. They're not going to put it on CNN. They're not going to put it in the local paper. So don't stress it. Just get to it. The most successful people in this world are the ones that are willing to face failure the most. You take a baseball player like a designated hitter in the American League. Great guy, getting paid $3 to $5 million a year, has a batting average of about 300, which means that 7 out of 10 times he puts the bat down and walks back to the dugout. What do you think the fans are saying to him? Hey, guy, that's all right. You're a winner anyway. You'll get it next time. No. Hell no. They're saying things about his mother, about him, that probably haven't even been put in the dictionary yet. But he's a pro. And this happens to him all the time. 60,000 people downing him, calling him names, putting him down. You're an amateur. You go and show 2 to 3 plans or presentations. You show a one-on-one, or you do a one-on-one, and it doesn't go your way, or they don't go your way. You go home, you complain, you bitch, you gripe. Get over it. That's what winners do. You lose most of the time. You might take flack for it from your spouse or your family members or anything else. Grow up. You're on your road to success. You have to go through your failures to become a victor or a winner. You lose most of the time. Remember that. We've all been taught that we can't lose. It's not okay to lose. It's not okay to fail forward, but in the end, become a victor. You've got to have the guts to step out. So my goal for you all is to push the envelope, because if you push it, you get 1 or 2 results. Either they reject you and you look foolish, or you make a great contact. So I push the envelope now and try to make the contact as fast as I can. I immediately want to get in conversation with them. If you back off and don't take that risk, you will risk less than I do. However, if that person responds to me, I'm going to get a success you'll never get. So if I ask, so do you work around here? And he says, yes, I work at such and such. I immediately ask questions that require a multi-sentence answer. Remember, great leaders ask great questions. Learn to ask open-ended questions. I'll say, oh, really? I heard that was a great place to work, with a hopeful anticipation that it is. You all know what he's going to tell me if I badmouth it or say that it's a crummy place to work. He's going to defend it. So if I ask him a hopeful anticipation question, he'll most likely be like, well, it's a job, or it's really not all what it's cracked up to be. And then I'll say, really? Why is that? I heard that company is a great company, or that particular job seemed very exciting to me. What's not good about it? And I let him push me. He might think that I'm being too personal and ask me why I'm worried about it. What business is it of mine? What are you worried about? Worried you might look like a fool? Great. Then you get a star in your cap. What do you care? A lot of you aren't asking the question. You would rather take a card and leave saying that you're going to call them later. Why? They're right there in front of you, and you have an audience with them. You have them right in your hand. Stop being afraid and push it so you can get to your goal. When I stopped being afraid, I started going all the way through the approach and got them there. My goal was and is to get them to the point of asking those questions that will open that door or show me an opportunity to give the profitable pitch. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you that there's something wrong with the company or that job. So this is where you should go for it, because you want to get those 7 to 10 people to the next meeting or event as quickly as possible. You're not going to do that taking and talking about carpools. You've got a business to build or run. So I'm going to push it and look for that one thing that tells me that something's wrong with the company. Then I'm going to say, well, you seem like a great guy, sharp guy. You're not going to take that for the rest of your life, are you? I know you probably have a family. You probably love them to death. What are you going to do? Now, he's already told me that something's wrong. I'm just going to amplify it. They're taking advantage of you, ripping you off, or working you a lot of hours for low pay, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? I know you're too sharp to do that for the rest of your life, right? You might say, well, Cedric, you're really pushing it. Yeah? What do you have to lose? He might then say, well, I think you're getting too personal. I don't think it's any of your business. Oh, okay. Just a second. Then think back about what I asked you before about caring once you reach your goal. I might be like, hold on just a second. Oh my goodness, I'm sitting on the beach in Tahiti drinking this Mai Tai, and I've got my wife and my kids right here with me. It's a nice, beautiful day. I have no worries in the world, no cares. And it's on a Tuesday. And he's still sitting at work. Man, thanks. It just pushed me that much further. I start laughing in their face, and I'm like, what's so funny? Oh, nothing. You're just number 50. Have a nice night. If you say that, they'll be like, what do you mean I'm number 50? And re-engage with you. But if not, I mean, you can just walk away. On to the next one. But if they say, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, that's when you can go in and say, well, you got to do something, and immediately go into your profitable pitch. Something like, well, I was with some multimillionaires just the other day in New York, and they were looking to expand business in Jersey City, and they were looking for people just like you, sharp, motivated, wanting a better life for their family, not wanting to take any crap from any business because they are hard workers. I've got a great opportunity for you, a video that you need to watch or a meeting with them next week. Are you available? I'd love for you to meet them and hear what they have to say, or even a CD or DVD that you have to watch. But if they do that and they come back to you lukewarm, not fired up, not foaming at the mouth, not drooling over the opportunity that you're providing for them, then next. Because they're probably going to be the one that you have to drag for the rest of your life in business with them. I give them the attitude of, this may not be for you, when all the books tell you to always be closing, or you should close the deal. I'm not trying to sell them a TV. I'm offering them an opportunity and want to be in business for the rest of my life. And if they aren't what I'm looking for, next. Don't sweat the small stuff. Move on. Continue to build your dream. Now, if you did this every single night, at least once a night, going all the way through the process, how long do you think it will take for you to get 10 people fired up about their future? Not very long, would it? A month? 2 months? Let's say it took you 6 months. Is that okay? Is that fair? If you were that aggressive, is there any reason you wouldn't get this done in 6 months? Sure, you'll get it done in 6 months. You've got 7 to 10 people lined up on the starting line together at the same time. What's your consequences at this moment in time in your particular business? What's your rank? What's your position? Something to think about, right? Now, if you teach each of them to go out and duplicate your actions you just performed because they believe it can be done because they just saw you do it and were a part of it, chances are you are 2, maybe 3 steps closer to your goal. Let's say that they take 6 months each to do it, like you did. Would that be all right? You have nothing but time, in my opinion. I think within that year, if they were able to do that, you would probably be at your goal. Is that all right? I hope so. I'm just showing you a way to fold time virtually in half and receive the end result a lot faster than going one by one in a series by doing something different. Now remember, they all aren't going to take the same amount of time. Some are going to get it done faster, like in 3 months, some in 1 month. But you watch, it will start to multiply and go out of control. You may not rank higher than you anticipated in the time frame that you wanted, but due to consequences and other people's efforts, it will be record setting. I can almost guarantee it. I've wanted to do this training for a while and teach my team about this way of thinking. So that's why I'm doing this recording now. And the concepts behind it are awesome. If you sit back and think about it and what can be done in a short amount of time doing the simplest things, it is amazing. Now, for those in sales, you too can use the approach concept or how to approach someone and the way of thinking, and it should produce the results you are looking for. Learning this and implementing it will allow you to fold time using the power of duplication, thinking in parallel instead of in series. So the basis of this training is to get you all to think in a different way or a different dimension, if you will. You can build your business and grow your client base at a pace that possibly has never been done before. If you could grab a piece or a portion of this and apply it by becoming a coach and teach people to do the simple things. Lay your foundation, lay your plan out so that you're teaching a multitude of people to do the same thing at the same time. Your results and consequences will amaze you. So if you enjoyed and found this training worthwhile or useful, please comment and tag someone who could also benefit from it. Thanks for watching and listening. Don't forget to smash that like button for me and subscribe so you can be notified in the future of other training videos and words of wisdom, hopefully, coming soon. I wish you all much success and many blessings.